This Bears team is down bad.
So much pain! So much pain!
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APWSPORTS signing in. And what can we say? The Bears lose again. The Bears lose again, and it was sloppy all day long. The Bears lose 33-22 at home to the Arizona Cardinals, and the score tells you the game was close, but the game was really not that close. But we're going to dive into my thoughts on this game and what happened with this game. But before I do that, make sure you guys leave this video a like. That does help this channel to grow tremendously. And click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any single video that I post. But let's just dive into this Bears misery. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I always went 2 years without buying shoes and feet. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Now, I usually go into these videos that the Bears lost upset. I usually go into it upset, angry, disgusted. But in the case of this game, I can't do that anymore. I expected this from the Bears. I expected them not to win this game. I expected Arizona to play well against this Bears team. I expected Murray to look very good coming back off an injury. I expected Deandre Hopkins to look good, and he did when he had his touches. I expected this Arizona Cardinals defense to hold the Bears in check for the most part, and they did. The running game for the Bears was the only thing it had the entire game on offense. The running game was the only thing it had. And if it wasn't for the running game, the Bears might not have scored 22 points. Even though I almost don't count that last touchdown to Jakeem Grant. I almost don't count that because it's another garbage time TD. But discuss this Bears offense turnover. In a game against the Arizona Cardinals, a game against the Cardinals that are the best team in the NFL, sitting at 9-2, playing very well, getting healthy, you cannot turn the football over. Whether it was overthrown ball on the first interception, whether it was Kmet unable to catch the ball the second interception, and overthrown the third interception, and a great play by the defender of the Cardinals, Allen, reading a screenplay by the fourth interception. Turnovers are going to cost you games, especially when you're a team like the Bears that is not a good team to begin with. Turnovers are going to cost you football games. And especially when you are the Chicago Bears, when you're an offense passing game that is completely inept, and it was completely inept today, the running game saved this game for the most part for the Bears, and your passing offense is completely inept. So, look, taking the key from this game, Bears is offensively, the passing game is not going to get much better. Even though we had Allen Robinson injured and Marquise Goodwin injured, the passing game is awful. Awful. The design of this passing game is awful. Receivers are not getting separation. They're not calling, I don't think, schematically good passing plays and good routes. You're not getting protection from your offensive line. What are you to do in this passing game? And when you talk about quarterback play, it's not there either.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
Because the offensive line has been so bad, because your scheme is so bad, your passing game suffers. In a game like this, the Bears' passing game has absolutely suffered. I mean, what more can you say? You cannot turn the ball over and expect to pull off an upset against this Cardinals team. Well, I didn't predict the Bears had any shot in this game anyway, and I was right about that. But the Bears defensively, they weren't the best either. Missing tackles, blowing assignments. They did get a little bit of a goal line stop, force a couple of field goals and a couple of punts, but I'm not going to look at statistics because I've already said on this channel, I'm not a statistics guy, but Kyler Murray played a very solid game. James Conner played a hell of a football game for this Arizona Cardinals offense, and it's made this offense much easier when you're starting extremely plus territory after turnovers. You're starting in extremely plus territory after turnovers. You're going to get points out of that. It's just the Cardinals converted those into touchdowns in this ball game. The Cardinals converted those into touchdowns. And you cannot beat an Arizona Cardinals team when you're turning the football over. And not only just turning the football over, you're giving this offense, this explosive offense led by Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury, you're giving this offense extremely plus territory. You cannot even think you're going to win a ball game when you're doing that. And for the Bears defensively, they didn't cause a single turnover. And if you were going to pull off an upset like this, you have to turn the football over. And the Bears did not do that at all. And you're not going to win games when you have 4 turnovers on your side and you do not turn the Arizona Cardinals over. The Arizona Cardinals team defensively is one of the best defenses in the NFL. Offensively, they can score points in bunches, and they proved that today. You're not going to win that game at all, especially when you're a team that's lost 5 games in a row already this season. You have an offense that is one of the dead last teams in the football. You have a passing offense that is extremely dead last and right at dead last in the football. You're not going to win very many games when you're turning the football over 4 times in the game and you do not turn over the Arizona Cardinals. You're not going to win. You have an offense that struggles, especially in passing game. A running game that basically carried this offense the entire game. The only way you were going to score is methodical drives. That is great. But your defense is put in bad positions because your offense is turning the football over. This Bears team never, and I mean never, puts it all together. Passing game is awful. Defensively, the play, even though it's a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball, the play wasn't very good. The play was not very good. Missing tackles on that James Conner touchdown, completely whiffing on a tackle. Instead of wrapping up and going for the sure tackle, you're going for big hits. You cannot do that, especially when you're in extreme plus territory coming off turnovers. You cannot do that. This Bears team is god-awful. It's a bad football team. And then you pile on injuries on top of it. It's not a very good football team. And we all got excited to see what Tevin Jenkins was going to do, but he didn't play. He didn't play. This Bears team is it's god-awful, man. It's hard to absolutely watch this Bears team. I was extremely uninterested in this football game. And you guys know I love my Bears. I die-hard love the Bears. But they have become a pain to watch, mainly on offense. It's been a pain to watch all season long for the most part, especially on offense. It has been a pain.
So much pain! So much pain!
You lose 5 straight games and you get a win against Detroit. Great, but it took you to the last second field goal to get the win. You go into a game against Arizona, which I personally believe they had no shot of winning. And you lay another egg like this. This just sums up what this Bears team is this season. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. I made videos of this team making it to the playoffs can ruin the season. Playoffs are out the window right now. Playoffs are out the window.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
I made a video on this Bears team needing to rebuild. That shows as clear as day this team needs to rebuild. It has become more about the development of Justin Fields this year versus anything that this Bears team can offer on the field. Get Justin Fields reps whenever he comes back, assuming he comes back healthy, and let him play. Because this was a stinker. Andy Dalton stunk it up. Kmet stunk it up. And you didn't get Darnell Mooney the football. Coming to this game with back-to-back 100-yard games, he's been basically your best receiver. Not basically, he's been your best and go-to receiver, and you really don't give him the football. You're forcing throws to Kmet Jakeem Grant was used a little bit of as a weapon, but you don't get Darnell Mooney more involved in the ball game. He's been your best weapon the past couple of weeks, and you don't give him the football. That just, I believe, attests to Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy, for whatever reason, doesn't give his best players, and he doesn't put his best players outside of David Montgomery, who's basically was the absolute Bears offense today. Your best players are not put in the best positions to succeed. And that's proof with Darnell Mooney's game today. That is proof. And that has been proof of why I said, and I've been saying for quite a while, Matt Nagy needs to go. It is time to change this coaching staff because it's just not it. The way this Bears team played today is even more evident that changes are coming at the end of this season. Changes are coming. They better be there because this Bears product, if you go into this another year with this, you're insane. You have guys that are on the other side of 30. They were banged up with a bunch of injuries today. You have an offensive scheme that doesn't put your best players in positions to win, and they did that today. Outside of David Montgomery, who was the Bears offense today, Andy Dalton stunk it up. Whether it was overthrows, whether it was tipped balls, the offense stunk it up in the passing game like they've been doing all season long. The running game has been the only thing successful. You put your defense in plus territory with tons of turnovers, 4 interceptions against the Arizona Cardinals offense that can score points in bunches and explosive. And then you have an Arizona Cardinals defense who's one of the top 5 defenses in football, getting after Andy Dalton, hitting Andy Dalton, and messing up your entire passing game with Byron Murphy Jr., who's been playing great football, Budda Baker, who played great football, Isaiah Simmons was all over the field today, Chandler Jones played good football. This Bears team is just, what do you make of it at this point? There's no, playoffs are way out the window. Whatever Bears fans was thinking playoff off of that graphic that I made in that early video, it's not there. And I believe that it's not there. It's never going to be there. Not this year. This Bears team is done. It's a bad team. Coupled with injuries, coupled with the bad coaching staff, offensively mainly, this Bears team is not there. So, hey, I am not upset about this. I expected this to happen with the Bears today. And what happened? I expected every bit of it. Sloppy football, rainy football, and the Cardinals look more prepared, and the Cardinals definitely are the better team. And they proved that today, and the Bears, they're in a tank. It's almost a tank for this Bears team. But, hey, I don't really want to have too much more to say about this game. I just want to get through the rest of this Bears season because it's downhill from here. It's not going to go up too far. You're not going to get any playoffs. And it's become about more of the Justin Fields development tour, basically, at this point. The Bears are bad. They are bad. They are done. This offense is trash. This defense is too banged up to even stop anybody. And it's just over. But, hey, it is what it is. Bears lose 33-22, and the game was further apart than the score says. But leave a like on this video. That does continue to help this channel to grow, and that would give me so much more joy. You guys leave this video a like because I'm a Bears fan and some pain. Some pain.
So much pain! So much pain!
And comment your thoughts down below of what you thought about this game. What did you see from this game? And click that subscribe button, as that definitely helps this channel to grow continually. And click that notification bell so you're not missing a single video. And thank you guys for the love and support that you have shown me on this channel throughout this tough Chicago Bears season. I really appreciate you guys and love you guys from the bottom of my heart. But I am APW Sports Center, and make sure you guys stay safe out there. Have a great and excellent day. And hopefully I can make some more videos happier. Peace.
Yeah!